today is not the day. It's like, who is she talking?
No, I have to ask you now, is mental health in the schools that you see in 7th and 8th grade? Because that's a very critical age in general. Yeah. And then you put it in schools and put it on teachers to have to see and deal with. And unfortunately, like every single time I hear about another child dying by suicide, it's like a knife in me. And it's not even my child, or I may not even know them, because I know it's just such a big thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And there's not enough people to help them, because those adults who we have to call immediately are doing 10 other things. And I'm like going, I'm Susie right here. I need somebody to talk to her before she gets off of this campus today. Y'all are not even. And I'm like going, I had a mom call me one night and she said, hey, I'm just telling you, my daughter saw this post online about her friend. You might want to call somebody. And I'm like, what was the post? And so they described to me what the post was. I had to immediately call my principal and say, hey, so-and-so just told me this, and it's 7:00 at night. So now I'm friends with the mom and I know the dad too. I'm trying to call both of their phone numbers to find out. And I'm like I can't get a hold of either one of the parents. What do? They're like, yeah, you got to call the cops. You got to call 911, because you don't want the parents to go home and that child to not exist anymore. So I'm like going, yeah. So lo and behold, 2 burly cops went walking up to the parents' door. Mom finally got my message. And they're like, yeah, we want to thank you, because he was not in the right space at that point in time. And so the 2 cops took him outside and just started talking to him. So I was like going, okay, just thought I'd let you guys know.
And I don't know how much more we could say to whoever's in charge. And I'm not from education, so I don't know. But like if the social workers and counselors are so either overwhelmed because they're not helping, like, okay, then we need to put money in the system to where we can have more contracts to have people coming there every single day to these schools. Like in my head, that's my way of resolving it, because we talked about that, even us, like, we're like, God, we want to get into schools. Like social workers are don't have enough time, or they're limited on what they're allowed to do, how they do it. It's like,
and we just took a huge cut this year in education. So a lot of the schools went down. And there was a big release as far as teachers and those positions are concerned. We're just like, okay, so usually I just teach 8th grade. And my boss is like going, I need you to teach an extra period. I said, okay, no problem. I'll teach an extra period. It's going to be 7th grade. Okay, I'll do it. But it's just the fact that because we had to make those cuts, that there's not enough. Our social worker was literally at the front desk answering phone calls.
Oh my gosh.
And that is correct. And that's what I was going to say, from being inside the school system as a social worker who was hired to do, to do mental health for the kids, like, social emotional learning, we had other duties, lunch duty, front desk duty, sit with this kid duty. Yep. All these duties that did not even scratch the surface of why we were there. And a lot of times social workers get, their hands are tied. They tell you can't act as a therapist, but yet this kid needs a therapist. You can't say this or you can say this, and your hands are tied a lot of times. And so if you're a person that really want to do a job and, make sure that you adhere to whatever the child needs as far as mental health is concerned, it's not happening in the school. So what do? They leave. So that's why, some of it is the shortage is they're going elsewhere because their hands are tied to school. And then you have like the people that are over the social workers, they're not even counselors. So it's a lot of things that they don't know that goes into, the details of what we do. So it is.
That makes me very
And I agree. Contracted, workers to come in every day.
Because if you can't hire them, then as an actual in-school social worker or a therapist, then have.
Well, what happens is that everything is, I hate to say it, but a knee-jerk reaction, because again, it always comes down to, oh my gosh, nothing's going to be done until it gets to a point to where they have to address it. And so usually what happens is that there's money or there's grants or there's something, and that's how it comes in. But unfortunately, because every single school is short-staffed in some area, that's a warm body. Oh, well, we can do this. And because they really don't understand, and that's what I'm saying, coming from both, and you all know I'm still very heavy-handed in both areas. I keep my license active. I've got everything, writing IEPs practically. And it is very sad because, again,
but it's not working.
They try. It's not working.
The bottom line
it's not working.
It's not working. And what is it going to take to, how many kids are going to have to, unfortunately, not be here anymore?
But here's the thing, and this is where I'm going to go, Nella. It's not just the kids.
Oh, no.
It's the teachers.
Oh.
And that's what you guys know. The educators are out of the classroom. We've got so many people in there teaching that aren't educators.
Well, there's a difference between educators and teachers.
Well, yeah. And because again, you have a passion for that. Like even Nella said, she goes, oh, I thought that was, not me. You guys know, I love it. It is me. I love teaching these kids. I have a passion. It is about them. So I'm always going to go above and beyond. Rennie's always going to go above. But unfortunately, how many teachers, and that's what I'm going to say, are going to, that's not my, I'm
because
off
they're
duty.
afraid. They're afraid of, what comes with that too. They're afraid if they do too much, then it's going to come back on them. Or if they don't do enough, it's still going to come back on them. So you guys are the brave
it's not about
educators.
Them. It's about the kids. And that's what I'm saying.
Right?
But
it's a system thing too. It's
absolutely.
So
and system, it doesn't work.
Right. So, and just so you guys know, is that the reporting system for a child to say that they're going to do something, harm themselves, is so lengthy that it can go after the school hours. And we have to get the parents involved. And there's parents out there that go, they're okay, we're taking them home.
It's happened. Yeah, of course.
Several times. And we're just like going, your child is begging for help. No, they're fine. We're telling you they're not fine. No, they're fine.
Yeah, that does. It's like, it.
Because that's the thing. These kids are our kids.
Yeah.
And our hands are tied. Because they're not, but we are with these kids more than, they're our kids.
Yeah, because you guys are with them like 8 hours a day.
Yeah. And then if we have them and if we are in, and that's the thing. Middle school's 3 years, high school's 4 years, elementary's 5 years. So it's like you have them and then you see them, so we literally watch these kids grow up knowing that we're sending them back sometimes. And it's hard. It's hard. And
I always thought that what would be a good idea is, okay, so the schools hire social workers or mental health counselors and they stick us at different schools. We should be a part of the learning curriculum. Like you have how many periods?
Seven.
So if a mental health counselor or a social worker is employed at your school, then we should have 7 classes where we teach. You know what I mean? Like
you can't. I disagree with that because you're there. I understand maybe one class, but you have to have someone else that you could get that off on. Because what if little Johnny or little Susie is in crisis mode and you're teaching a class?
Some kind of way. So
that's the other part of that.
But here's the thing.
Even if it's
I was teaching this. Undergrad, PE and health. I was teaching life management, hope, everything. All of this stuff that I do here, I was teaching. They pulled it out of the classroom. It went online. And you have coaches teaching this. And again, I love my coaches and stuff, but a football coach is not going to want to, they don't, you know what I mean? It's just a class they have to take, but you don't have the right people in there because they pulled it out. They shut it down.